Hello guys and welcome. In this video I will show you the very basics of how to ride a motorcycle. This is what you call a traditional motorcycle. It means it's not a moped or a scooter, it's not automatic, so it has gears and a clutch. This is the clutch. So you use this to get moving and to change gears up and down, go faster or slower. This is a really important step that you have to learn. Down here, this is your gear selector. One down for first and everything up for second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth gear. Between the first and the second, a small click, this is your neutral. On the right side up here, this is your emergency brake or your front brake, which is also the strongest brake on the bike. Down here on the same level as the gear selector, this is your back brake or your balancing brake. You use this for slow turns, riding in the city, you know, very slow stops, etc. You got the idea. The back brake has a tiny disc, so that doesn't have like any stopping power, so don't expect it to stop. The front brake has two massive discs. Also, when you obviously, you hit the front brake, because all the weight transfers to the front, it will stop faster naturally, because this is physics, but also has two massive discs, so it will stop. As you can tell, unfortunately my motorcycle is not very clean. The reason is because it was rainy for a very, very long time here in London, so I didn't have the chance to clean it, but it really doesn't matter. I will show you how to use the clutch properly. I'll show you what to do, what not to do, what's gonna happen if you don't combine nicely the clutch and the throttle, which you have to learn to get moving, otherwise it won't work. And that's pretty much it. If you find this video helpful or useful, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. It's slightly windy here. Also, I'm in a very prime spot. This is like the main road in Blackheath, between Blackheath and Greenwich. So obviously I won't show you any controls on the bike, like the indicators and stuff, because on every bike is different, but some things are the same. Clutch is always on the left, indicators are always here. Sorry, I forgot that. So basically this is your throttle. How did I forget that? I didn't mention it at all. So basically this is your throttle. The more you twist it, the faster you go. Obviously if you have a driving license, you drive a car, then this is exactly the same concept. Clutch and obviously back brake on this on motorcycles, because the brakes are not linked like in a car. Some motorcycles have linked brakes where you press the front and then the back one stops as well, but this one doesn't. It's fairly basic. So I'll show you how to use a clutch and everything. Clutch, cluck cluck, front brake, pop pop, back brake, pop pop, gears up and down, pam 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 pam. Simple as that. Yeah, that's really it. So should we get going and see how to use all these theory stuff I just told you? Okay dokie guys, hopefully you can hear me very clear. We are ready to go. First things first, obviously wear your gear, even if it's super hot like it's today. Alright, so we're gonna switch the bike on. Really important, always check that it's on the neutral. This is the green end that shows, it means there is no gear, because if you try to start it with a gear, it's just gonna start, you will see what's gonna happen soon. Take it off the stand. Obviously I'm feeling very confident and comfortable taking off the stand like I am, because I'm really sure that I can hold it, because obviously I know what my power is, but some people they like to sit on while taking the stand, but me, like, I have no fear. I can easily maneuver the motorcycle around like this. Okay, so let's get on. Sometimes hold the brake when you get on, it will help you. You can see that is on neutral, so that's great. Everything is nice and fastened. Okay, ready to ride, I guess. It's on neutral, so if it was on first gear, I should hold the clutch down and start the bike. The reason is otherwise we'll start doing like you'll see what I mean. So if I start the bike now, to get going I have to hold the clutch down, put first gear, it says first, and then apply very gentle throttle. Just apply the throttle, you know, very gentle. And then if I leave the clutch slowly, it's gonna get going. Look, that's it. So you see how easy that was. It's really important to use the clutch and the throttle very smooth and equally. Okay, it's really important. A little bit of throttle, leaving the clutch slowly. Now the clutch can be adjusted. For example, my clutch disengages around here. You can see, look, I have first gear, it's going. The reason is because I really don't like if the clutch disengages very high, because I'm riding in London, in central London, so obviously it would affect my riding. Okay, so let's try to get on that road there, which is fairly quiet. Okay, let's go from the beginning. Green N, neutral. Dash means there is nothing going on. The back doesn't go, as you can tell. Okay, we're not moving. Okay, there we go. Clutch all the way in, first gear, a little bit of throttle, and leave the clutch kindly. You see, I don't just, you know, leave the throttle. I don't go off the throttle until you get moving, say about 5 miles or so. Depends on the bike, obviously, but you're gonna get it with experience. I'm not gonna leave the throttle. So let's go. No one is coming there, no one is coming there. Throttle, clutch, there we go. And now I can leave the clutch completely. You see? Leave the throttle, clutch in, second gear, clutch out, throttle. How easy is that? Okay, clutch in, third gear, slightly leave the clutch, throttle. Okay, let's stop here now, because I want to go back and I disturb the traffic behind me. Alright, let's go one more time. Let's get to that shadow there. Green N symbol, neutral. There is no gear, the bike doesn't go. You can tell, alright? Cool. Clutch all the way in, put in first gear. I feel the bike moving forward. The first gear is there. For me now to get moving, I have to apply the throttle gently. I have to apply a bit of throttle and then leave the clutch. I shouldn't go off the throttle until I get moving, otherwise the bike will stall. What it means stall, I'll show you right now. So look now what's gonna happen if I leave the clutch with no throttle at all. You see what happened? So basically that's a stall. That means I didn't apply enough or throttle at all, and that's what's happening. Okay, you got that. Every time you leave the clutch slightly, you have to apply a bit of throttle. Every time you leave the clutch, so you get moving, you have to apply throttle. You go off the throttle once you get moving, at least 5-6 miles depending on the bike. Let's go again. For your safety, even if you're on neutral, I always clutch in completely before I start the bike. On some cars, I'm not quite sure if the same on motorcycles, you cannot start the engine until your clutch is all the way in. I'm not quite sure about that. Don't quote me on that. Okay, cool. So clutch in, start the bike. So basically this is the Yamaha start. On different bikes it could be a button or some sort of different combination. So obviously you have to learn that. I cannot show you every single bike that's ever created. I'm gonna leave this car go, and there's a blue Yaris coming, and then we're gonna go. Clutch in, start the bike. Okay, there is no gear now. Even if I leave the clutch, nothing's gonna happen. Alright, clutch all the way in, put first gear with my feet. One down is first, everything up, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, as I showed you before. Okay, let me know in the comments if these instructions / directions are clear enough, and if you like to see more videos like this. Hopefully it is. I think this video is aimed more to people that they never ride a motorcycle but they love the idea. It's not aimed for people that, you know, obviously they ride or they rode once when they were young, or, you know. But yeah, you get it, absolutely. So yeah, I aim more to the people that they love motorcycles, they love the sound, they love the feel of, you know, getting the wind, and you never rode one, and this is the time now to shine. All right, so clutch in, first gear, which is 1 down, bit of throttle, leave the clutch always slowly. It's very important as well, before you start moving, always to check if someone is coming, using the mirror and your head. Okay, it's very important because the mirror has blind spots. Okay, apply a bit of throttle, full clutch in, leave throttle. Second, leave the clutch nice and kindly and throttle. You see how easy is that? This is super simple. If you ever, you know, drove a car, it's exactly the same logic, obviously, as long as the car is not automatic. So now here on this spot we're gonna go slightly faster because the limit from 20 becomes 30, and I'm gonna show you. Just I want you to look my arms, to look my wrists, how fast they're going from first to second. Yeah, the point is not to show you how to go fast, the point is to understand the logic between pressing the clutch, apply throttle, leaving the clutch. Okay, throttle, clutch, second, leave the clutch, throttle, throttle, leave the throttle, clutch, third, leave the clutch, throttle. Leave the throttle, clutch, fourth, leave the clutch, throttle. I don't suggest you to do what I'm doing right now, like I'm filtering through traffic on your first, you know, few months, few years maybe, because that's obviously very dangerous. Apologize for the wind, is notoriously ultra windy today for some reason. In the meantime, while I'm talking, you can also check my speedometer. That's why I put the camera there, to understand how that works. So you don't need to change gears like very high on the rev counter. You can change before. Less noise, it goes more calmly, and also obviously less consumption. Okay, let's go. Clutch, second, leave the clutch kindly, throttle. Leave the throttle, clutch, third, leave the clutch. You get the idea, it's really easy. Okay, now I know, for example, that this is a spot that people coming out of the Greenwich Park, and obviously I cannot go fast here, right? So look what I'm gonna do now. Clutch in, I'm gonna let it slide. You can go like this as much as you want, no one can tell you anything. 1 gear down, leave the clutch, apply a bit of throttle. Okay, nice and simple. I hope this is very easy to follow and to understand. Should we do another launch here? Okay, let's do it. I'll do it down there because obviously you can't stop on yellow. Clutch in so I can stop. If you try to stop, to come to a complete stop like this, and you are on a gear and not on neutral, and your clutch is not all the way in, the bike will stall. The same thing as I showed you in the before. Okay, clutch all the way in, start the bike, check with your shoulder, check. First gear, leave the clutch kindly, apply throttle. Leave the clutch, leave. I completely left it. First gear, clutch in, second gear, leave the clutch, apply throttle. Let's leave the pedestrian with a nice doggo go. You see, I stop but I had the clutch all the way in. I'm not gonna try to teach you now how to ride on the road, because that's not the point of this video. If you like this video, I will eventually show you what to look and how to ride, but the whole point here is to understand what to do. Now in this case I could put neutral and like this and let it slide, but it's dangerous because if I don't hold the brake, this one's gonna keep going down fast, so because of the gravity it keeps accelerating. So the best thing to do is put a high gear, second gear or something, high for now, it's not a high gear, and just, you know, naturally let it go, because if I leave the throttle now, the engine will brake the whole motorcycle. Look, it's braking. Very easy to understand, isn't it? Okay, so now I'm going with second gear. There is no reason of going on a higher gear, because I know for a fact that I won't go anywhere. That's like the road stops here, you have to go left or right. So you can see now it's red, the traffic light is red. Hold the clutch in, leave the throttle, let it slide until, you know, it goes to a point that you want, and that's pretty much it. Now you see I'm on the second gear from before. If I kindly press down once, it goes on the neutral, because that's in between the first and the second. But if I hit second like this and I press hard down, it will go on the first. I know it's gonna get green. Clutch in, first gear, there you go. Kindly leave the clutch and apply throttle. Leave throttle, clutch, gear, leave clutch, throttle. I don't know how visible is that on the video. Leave throttle, clutch, gear, leave, throttle. Does it make sense? I have to make like a special language for this so you can understand even better, because I'm not quite sure if you get my sayings here. Hopefully you do. Don't be scared of, you know, the gears and how you leave the clutch, because even with third gear it can go 2000 RPMs and it's not gonna stall, because I keep moving. All right, in the meantime you can appreciate the ultra beautiful Greenwich College here. As you can see here they put some sort of spheres with artists and paintings, really cool stuff. Clutch, brake, obviously I'm not telling you that, but I apply the back brake all the time. So for example here, back brake, which is, I'm using my right feet for that. First gear, clutch, throttle. You see, now I'm gonna come to a complete stop again. Clutch, leave the throttle. I'm gonna keep it, you know, I'm gonna keep it down like this. I don't want to put neutral here because I know I'm gonna get going. Leave the clutch kindly, throttle, back brake, leave the clutch, throttle,